Ooh, look at that chest hair. Well, if only I had chest hairs like that. Yeah. G'day, I'm Harry. Welcome back to Fire to Fork. And today I'm out with an actual person who's not an ape with a camera. So Chris is behind the lens. He's from the Forward Rome Adventure Show, where I will be from the 6th to 8th of November. Into the main video. So today I'm going to do, I think it was my 3rd or 4th most requested meal in my recent Instagram poll, and that is a curry. Now the curry that I'm probably best at, I think, is a Thai green curry, and they're pretty easy, so I think we should just get into it. To start with, I'm just going to throw some rice on. The curry itself doesn't actually take that long, so you get one thing of rice. Now you can use your shoe, you can use one of these cups which are for sale in my merch store. Shameless plug again. I'm going to use the cup that is all over Fred. It's empty now. Perfect. That was most of a cup, so yeah, very good coincidence. And then 2 to 1 of whatever you've put in. Because my my pot has little holes in the top, I add a little bit more than 2 to 1 just to account for that slight bit of evaporation. Oh, sorry mate. And I've used a long grain rice. You should probably use a jasmine rice, but that's the one I had open, so I'm going to use that, and I'll chuck that on the fire. And yes, you do rice with cold water. Next, I'm going to get my camp oven out. Shit everywhere. I need to reorganize all this, and I will, but I haven't yet. Oh, oh, no! Now, once again, I'm drinking one of my very average beers because alcohol restrictions came in yesterday, and that meant that I've only got 2 of my good beers. So I'm trying to save them. I'm definitely going to have one, and I'll bring it out in a second. And what alcohol restrictions means up here is you can only buy mid-strength beer, and at 6.5%, my good beers are not mid-strength. Ah, looks like someone washed this with sand as a I used a bit of sand as like a, what's the word? Abrasive, that's the one, instead of pulling my scrubbing brush out. By the way, good way to do it, save water. Just use seawater and sand. Get pretty much everything clean, then all you do is rinse it with fresh water and you're fine. So, jam that shit up there. Ooh, showing a bit of my undergarments, which is a microphone. Ooh. Okay, what I'm going to do now, put in a little bit of oil and chop up a little bit of onion. Bash the top of it, makes it easier to pull the skin off. Ugh, bash it harder. If you don't know how to dice an onion quickly, that's how you do it. Ah! Now, for anyone who tells me that my eyes are watering because my knife's too sharp, my knife's not sharp enough, this thing could shave. It's so bloody sharp. Trust me, it's not the knife. Oh. Okay. We'll chuck that on and fry it up a little bit. Ugh. I copped the smoke and the heat. Oh, sorry, I mean the onion and the smoke at the same time. Did not go well for me. So, I used the Mae Ploy sauce, curry paste, and just always have. I found it really good. And for camping, these single-use things are actually fantastic. I'm not a huge fan of single-use things in general, but these are $1, and it means you never waste anything. Like you use the whole thing, or you know, if you're doing a bigger lot than this, use 2 whole things. Chuck that in there on a decent bit of heat. Actually, this is too much heat. And then I'm going to quickly grab some coconut cream. So, a bit of coconut cream in there, and then, oh, got a runny nose, eyes are watering, it's all going on, it's all happening. What you do is it's kind of hard to explain, but you basically want to stir this until the oils kind of separate out of the curry paste. So, just stir that up a little bit. Now I'm not making very much of this because there's only 2 of us and I have a fridge full of leftovers. So I'm just going to have 1 can of coconut cream. Right, so when you see it, you'll see it bubbling, and then around the edges you'll see like a bit of a film of oil. You want that to happen for about a minute before you add the rest of the coconut cream. And I use coconut cream, not coconut milk, just because it gives it, well, a creamier consistency. Yep, it's looking pretty good. I'll add the rest of that. Mix it up. And we'll get started on the rest of it. Put that on not too much heat actually. All right, let's go. So I'll let that to bubble for a minute or something. And I'm just gonna quickly take it off and just throw a few more ingredients in there. So I want 1 clove of garlic, probably should have crushed that, but I tend not to crush things when I'm just doing 1 little clove because it's more washing up than it's worth, than to just cut it finely. Now, next I am going to, what have I got in here? Okay. Next I'm going to get, oh no, I've had a spill. Shit. Oh, this is a train wreck in here. Oh, my soy sauce. Top off. Ugh. It's campy. Shit spills. Deal with it later. So, a little bit of fish sauce. So you probably want maybe a tablespoon of that. Then you'd probably want a little bit more soy sauce than that, but that's what we've got. So I'll throw that in. That's the end of that one. The next one's a little bit weird and not, you don't 100% have to use this particular ingredient, which is palm sugar, but palm sugar does taste the best in a curry. So when you use some palm sugar, you can actually get pre-grated palm sugar, which is pretty awesome stuff. Yep. Sorry, I've been talking to the wrong camera. I've been talking to that camera, which is the camera that goes here. Anyway, you get the idea. The ever important taste test. Curry. I think it actually needs a little bit more coconut cream, which I didn't bring any more of. I might have some powdered. Hold on. Didn't bring any powdered either. That's okay. What you can actually do is the great thing about using coconut cream is that you sort of turn it into coconut milk by just adding a bit of water. So this just needs to be diluted a little bit, so throw a little bit of water in there. Take your garlic husk out that you threw in there before because you didn't think you were going to be using this again. That's very important. Stir it up and then put that back on the heat. God, there's just crap everywhere. Like, there's shit all over my bottles. Next, we have the more fresh ingredients, which are, hold on. Don't wipe your nose, then prepare food. Prawns. As I've mentioned in the last sort of few episodes, I've got a heap of prawns because I bought them down at the beach. So, I am going to behead them. Sounds quite sort of dark ages, but anyway. tail them. So to do that, that's not the way to do it. Don't do it like that. That was terrible. Terrible example. Okay, let's try again. You rip the front a couple of bits, and then push from the tail, and the meat should slide out of the shell. Like that. Much better. If you were wondering why my prawns were there, not in there, it's because they were frozen, so I deliberately left them out to thaw. Don't worry, I don't just leave my prawns in the sun. Oh, forgot to cut these guys. Sorry. Then slice up the mushies and throw them in the camp oven. Next, some snow peas. I'm kind of lazy with my snow peas. I know you're supposed to, you know, I'll do it properly. I usually honestly just whip the ends off and chuck them in. Fine if you get them fresh. They're not too stringy at all. Get those, chop them up. Dump them in. We'll probably give those 3 or 4 minutes before I add the prawns. Check on your neglected rice, it's very important. Ooh. I'm going to say perfect. Yep, it's perfect. That is a total fluke. I neglected that far too long, and it's not burnt on the bottom. Well, nailed it. Cool. Well, I've knocked the top off that pretty average beer. It's a perfectly fine beer, with all due respect. Like, it's goat, it's fine. They're nothing wrong with them, but all this, yep. Colonial IPA, Mother's Milk. Can't have too many of them because otherwise you can't drive home. But, whew, just saying, Colonial, big opportunity here. You can be part of all this. Fred will be your mascot. It's be amazing. Think of it. Think of the opportunities. Going to the moon together. So everyone, home, Instagram, tag Colonial, and use the hashtag #FireFreeBeer. We're gonna try and get Colonial to sponsor me. It's my aim. I haven't had many big, lofty goals in this business, but that's one of them. Free beer. Now, stop talking about beer and get your food going. So they've been on for a few minutes. The mushy's looking kind of softish. Throw the prawns in. Now the prawns need very little time. Throw that on the fire for probably 2-3 minutes. Honestly, ridiculous. So good. All right, one more ingredient to go. No, it's not another beer. The devil's lettuce. Coriander, cilantro, whatever you want to call it. This stuff is so divisive, it's amazing. Like, I honestly, there are 2 ingredients that create the most sort of emotional responses in the YouTube comments, and they are coriander and peas. Peas I didn't expect. Coriander I get. There's a certain gene that people have that makes them hate coriander. So I can fully understand why some people hate it. Peas, on the other hand, I didn't see that one coming. So yeah, good wash. Flip that, so it's not all covered in, you know, raw prawn. Now, bed of rice. I don't really have a ladle here, so I'm just going to use this thing. A little bit of coriander on top. Oh, doesn't that look lovely? You should eat coriander just because it looks so good. And, oh, I haven't cleaned that since all the raw prawns. Might give that a quick wash. As always, links to this knife and every other bit of kit that I use in the description below. And that's how you can support my channel. Because for some of them I actually get a little cut, which is nice. Squeeze a lime. And a taste test. Prawn, of course. Shrimp, whatever you want to call it. Shit, that's hot. Oh, who knew? Things you've only just cooked, really hot. That's bloody delicious. I would say it needs a touch more coconut cream, which I mentioned before, a touch more, just to really balance it out. I'll adjust the recipe down below, of course, to be proper, but yeah, overall the flavors are magic. Once you add the rice, it's so good. Plenty of spice in there. If you don't like it as spicy, obviously add less curry powder. Oh my god, my chest hairs have popped out. Inappropriate. Oh, bloody delicious. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers. Oh, I love this shit.